Okay.
Alright.
3, 2, 1. Cut this out, me in the future.
Okay.
Okay. So, this video is going to be our impressions of ARMS based off the 2-weekend-long Test Punch demos. We played pretty much all of it. I'd say about 80% of the demos.
Yeah, we only missed about 1 or 2, I think.
Yeah.
And they were like the 8 a.m. ones.
The 8 a.m. ones and the Sunday morning ones, yeah.
Alright.
So first off, initial impressions. I liked it.
Yes, it was. I thought it was very Nintendo. It was very bright.
Yeah, if Nintendo
was
to make a Tekken game, I think this would be how they did it.
Yes.
Outside of Pokken.
Yes.
But I think Namco made Pokken. It was just like Nintendo and Pokemon Company like gave them the rights, and they were like, "Do what you want, man."
Yeah, but
can't really do balanced impressions.
Not really, because we didn't have everything.
Because you didn't have all the characters, and the characters were limited to 3 arms each. Where in the full game you have all the characters, and the characters can use any arms.
I think that with what we were given, though, we were given a fairly decent. Everybody had their specific trait. You know what I mean?
I just, like, the slower characters needed faster options. Especially against the quicker characters.
Ninja guy.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Ninjara and Twintelle were definitely big issues for characters like Mechanica and Master Mummy.
Yeah.
You could kind of get around it if you used the bird thing for Master Mummy. I don't think Mechanica had an option.
Not really. She just had the 2 honing.
Yeah, you had 2 really slow homing moves, and then the 3-shot piece revolvers.
Yes.
All of which are super slow.
Yeah. Twintelle's parasol, though, that's really slow. I know it's a shield, but
yeah,
it's very slow to open, it seems, with the brief time I played
The issue with Twintelle is she can like do this thing where she slows down your punches if she dodges them.
Okay.
In the air. So if your punch is already super slow to recover.
She was added during the second weekend, right?
Yeah, and you only got to play like once.
Yeah, and I only ever played like 1 or 2 of them, I think. I didn't get a lot of interaction with Twintelle. So.
I played her as Master Mummy, and if she caught one of my slower arms with the slow field, it was like I was eating a throw every time. There was no getting around it.
Yeah. So.
The only arm I used that I felt was useless, definitely the Party Popper with Ribbon Girl.
Really, I never even used that with her. I don't think she was the character I wanted to main first, and I think I played her, and I don't know. I wasn't feeling it because I guess she was the first one I played, so I wasn't that experienced with how the game works in general. But I don't even remember. I think I just picked her main boxing gloves.
You used the Slap-O-Manders a few times.
Did I? Okay.
Yeah.
I do remember that because I remember I was having a weird time aiming them.
Yeah.
It felt awkward.
They have a big delay to when they hit because they like go out and then they like slap.
Yeah.
It takes a while.
Yeah.
I remember I made a point on the last Saturday I played to like give everyone I hadn't played yet a little bit of a shot. Just so I could try as many arms as possible. And the 2 I disliked the most were the triple shot that Ninjara and Springman got, where it's like the revolver, but it's all 3 at once instead of one in a row.
Yeah.
It felt like a cheap revolver to me.
Really?
Well, all 3 get knocked away by a normal punch, so you don't have the like long-staying power that the revolver has, and you don't gain as much area coverage as you think you would.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I never used that.
And I never hit anything with the Party Poppers. I didn't even know if like you could hit with them until somebody hit me with them. They're like bad revolvers in like
really?
The worst
They're very
way.
Small, aren't they? Because I know that's a light glove.
Yeah, they're tiny and they like fire like rapid fire one after another, but like you can't really aim them at all. It's kind of like a shotgun, but I couldn't get a feel for it. So, I mean, maybe somebody else can use it way better than I can, but I definitely did not prefer those arms.
Huh. Okay. What was Master Mummy's just movement in general, like, because I never played him. And with as heavy as he was, I'm curious as to what it was like jumping and just overall maneuvering, especially uphill.
He's Mechanica without the jet boosters, basically.
Okay.
You're big and slow on the ground, and your dash in the air is alright. Not going uphill. Going uphill is nearly impossible with Master Mummy. You can't dodge things.
Yeah.
And go uphill. Like, I tried to jump dash over somebody's grab in the air, and I knew I could have done it with, like, Helix.
Mm-hmm.
But because I was Master Mummy and his hitbox is so big and his jumps are so short, there was no jumping over anything going uphill in the Ninjara stage.
Yeah, I definitely feel like when Mechanica hovers,
it's a big advantage.
There's definitely something special there that I really enjoy.
You can't really aim up, is the big thing. You track up naturally, but aiming up is almost impossible.
Really?
At least in my experience. Maybe if you use the motion controls, it's easier, but on the stick, I was having a hard time aiming upwards.
That's something I want to try when we do get it, when we first set it up. Maybe just try it with the motion controls.
Yeah, we'd have to move it. We'd have to move everything.
Yeah, because when we both tried it, we were at this desk like this.
Yeah. And
so, like...
So you punch like this, you're going to hit the microphone. You punch this way, you're going to hit my speakers or my monitor.
It was very, very awkward.
You have to be punching kind of towards the switch, which is right here.
Yeah, I don't know. Overall, I feel like if you had full range of motion,
we'd have to set it up like we were playing 1-2 switch.
Yeah.
Which is
great.
Move all the chairs out.
Yeah. Yeah, so did you play Ninjara at all?
I ran out of time to really play him. I played him like once against Headlock. He was alright.
Really?
I mean, the main thing you get with him, at least in the demo, is the obvious dodge a punch, teleport, instant grab gimmick.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I was able to beat with Master Mummy once I started using the bird hand. You just use the bird hand after he teleports and it'll intercept him.
How did you like Hoops? Did you play Hoops? Did you get the chance to?
I still think out of the non-one-on-one fighting modes, of which we got to play multiple 3-for-all modes, a 3-player one-on-one match. I even played some 4-player one-on-one matches.
Really?
I think that was only during the first weekend.
Yeah, I remember there were a few of those.
There were the 2v2 tethered matches.
Those were hard, especially if you weren't just,
if
like,
you and your partner don't sync up, it's very difficult. Especially if, like, one of you is, like, a slow character, and the other one is, like, a Ninjara or a Twintel. The slow character just feels like you're hindering the other player.
Yeah, because I remember at the one point, I was hooked up with a Twintel one of the few times I did get to play with them. And it was very, very challenging because it seemed as if she was just doing everything.
Right, they could go, like, everywhere, and you're like, I need to block and stay on the ground.
I was trying to, like, hover with her, but I felt like I was a dog on a leash being pulled around, you know? It was very awkward. But V-Ball.
Volleyball, I think, is the funnest minigame.
It was
the
awesome.
Funnest minigame they have.
I wasn't a fan of the...
You have to pick the right arms for volleyball.
Yeah.
Because if you pick, like, the blorbs or anything...
I picked the...
You just went with, revolvers.
With the revolvers, yeah.
Yeah.
Because when you were using the 2 honing options I had, it just... I don't know.
They're too slow.
Yeah. It just wasn't worth it.
Yeah. I wish I had a chance to play it using Master Mummy's bird arms.
Oh, you never got to play that one.
Not with the bird arm. I played, I was maining Helix at that point.
Okay, yeah.
Demo. I didn't play Master Mummy till, like, the last weekend. And Hoops was kind of fun.
I liked Hoops. I thought it was very, I don't know, it was kind of difficult because if you would stay towards the back, the farthest away from the hoop, you could try to get closer to the person, I guess, and then throw them in. But it was, I don't know, it was very much just, like, where you were positioned on the map.
My issue with Hoops is it's very much just who lands a big punish first.
I don't know. I saw people bounce back from it. I bounced back from it one time.
I bounced back once, but it felt more like because my opponent made a mistake and less like because I earned it.
I guess, especially, I remember the very first game of Hoops I played. It was, we both threw punches, like, at the exact same time.
Oh,
so
yeah,
we were just
funny.
sitting there, like, hitting the same button, doing the same thing until one of us finally, like, moved or something.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it didn't help that you picked your character and then got the mode, so I ended up playing as Master Mummy in a bunch of hoop games, which is not ideal.
yeah,
Slowest character in a game where the objective is mainly to grab the opponent
as
is not
fast as you can.
as fast as you can is not the best idea, especially when you have the biggest hitbox,
Yeah,
the biggest and slowest of hit. Headlock,
headlock.
I think, is my favorite, favorite fighting mode that isn't 1-on-1.
It was crazy.
It's very
He had
fun.
what, 6 arms?
Yeah, he's
So
got
he had, and I think he had what? He was able to have 2 different types of
two.
arms.
He's still restricted
still?
to 2 types of arms, but he gets 6 of them. He gets
Yeah.
3 of each. So, like, I saw one time he had 3 revolvers and 3 of the homing missiles.
Really?
It was ridiculous.
Well, the first one I played, either the first or
couldn't punch
second
him
one,
from
I
the
don't
front.
remember what he had on the one arm, but then he had the parasols on the other arm, and that was extremely difficult to get anywhere near him because we were on the hill. So, and he
Oh,
was like
God,
up
yeah.
against he was up against the side where like the people are cheering.
Yeah.
So like you couldn't get behind him.
Yeah,
and
you-
I found that the easiest way to like defeat him is to get
Yeah,
behind
the
him.
easiest way to beat Headlock is some player has to circle around behind him, and then you just chain throw the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Which is a big point. In a lot of fighting games, throwing is just to get your opponent to stop defending. In ARMS, it's your biggest punish
Oh
in
yeah.
the game. Especially
it.
if you're like Mechanica or Master Mummy, where Master Mummy gets 200 damage off his throw. Mechanica gets like 190. You're not going to get anywhere close to that unless you use a punch rush.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you miss a throw, you're eating a throw.
Okay,
You-
can we talk about the one stage with all the Helix men?
So
Because
Helix
it
is...
drove me crazy.
I ended up kind of liking that stage a little more because I remembered something about Master Mummy I forgot, which is if you're guarding, you regen your health.
Oh, that would have been helpful.
So a lot of times when people were trying to play the I'm gonna dance around the pillars and you can't punch me game, I just said okay, backed up and started healing.
okay.
And it forced them out. You as Mechanica didn't have that choice.
No, I would just
but-
hover around in circles forever until they finally decide to come out, or I just broke through.
I eventually stopped worrying about going around them, and I would punch them twice to weaken them, charge up a big punch, and break through with the charged up punch, and it normally surprised people. Especially if you have, like, fire elemental weapons,
Yeah.
because you do, like, 20 extra damage on the hit, and
Yeah,
you
that
can
would be
combo
nice.
off the extra knockdown. So, like, the fire charged revolver into the fire charged bird was my main combo. And you're only really gonna get 2-hit combos in the game. Two arm combos. You're gonna combo one arm, maybe into the other arm. You're not really gonna get anything else. This isn't a game about juggling your opponent 7 times and
Yeah.
putting them in a mix-up afterwards.
Yeah.
At least not yet. Maybe if you play
Once
Ninjara.
everyone gets their hands on it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All of that will
Once you have
change.
access to all the arms. What did you think about the elements of the arms? Something we didn't really focus on when we were playing.
Yeah, I didn't even honestly notice them that much because I was just so like excited to be playing. The only time I noticed is once they added Twin Tail, she had her one arm had freeze or frozen or
Yeah.
whatever element that is, ice. I don't know
Freeze
what
and
they're calling it.
electricity, I think, are the strongest elements.
Yeah, because I have electricity, don't I, on the one I have?
I think on your revolver, you have electricity.
I'm pretty sure that's...
Yeah. So the elements, real quick, off the top of my head. Fire does extra damage when it's charged, and it knocks you down. So even if it's like a light punch that normally wouldn't knock you down, you get knocked down. And it'll do extra damage. It's like 30 or 20 extra damage. Electricity does a little bit of extra damage, like 10, and it stuns the opponent.
Yes, that's what
Which
I really
means
loved about it, too.
Both of their arms fall to their side, and they have to wiggle out of the stun animation. I noticed this is kind of like a little ridiculous in hoops. You get stunned and immediately thrown into the hoop. These are normally... I didn't have an issue with them in 1-on-1, but I don't know if that's just people not using them right. It's something you probably have to guard a lot more against. Explosive. Charge it up, it explodes. We only saw the homing missile with Mechanica that had that.
That must have been the homing missile,
Yeah.
not the hammer.
It can hit you, though.
Oh.
I never saw it
okay.
happen, but the loading screen tells you that your
Yeah.
unexplosive weapons can hit you when they explode, so. What else? Freeze. If they hit you enough times of it, it'll freeze you, which is very similar to shock, but it lasts longer. but in turn they have to stack it up. It's not like a one-hit thing, at least from
Mhm.
what I saw. I would like get a little slowed, and then like the second charged hit would freeze me.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that because I remember suddenly being confused as to what the hell was going on.
Yeah, and then there was blind, which was unique
Oh
to
yeah, Helix.
Helix. Helix's Blords do like a Mario Kart blooper ink effect.
Which is much harder to see out of
But
than I thought it would have
Well,
been.
because it covers the whole screen. You get to see like the corners of your vision.
I was thinking like Mario Kart, like Squid, you know,
Yeah, like
Total.
a few little blotches. No, it is
The
90% of your screen is covered in goo.
Yeah, that was horrifying when that happened.
There are also some wind weapons that Springman and Ninjara got.
Oh really?
When they're charged, they send out tornadoes.
Okay, yeah.
They
I
don't do a lot of
remember that.
damage, but they send you flying when they hit, and they're like huge, so they can hit you when you're jumping.
Okay. Now, what about the mode? I don't even remember what it was called, probably because I just hated it so much. Where you had to like punch through. There was a team on one side and a team on the opposite side.
Target score or whatever.
Target score.
It was like target shot or something. That mode is a little confusing. They don't explain anything about any of the modes when you enter them, which I think is kind of bad.
Even if it was just like a little brief, like
video,
anything, I don't know, paragraph.
Like
I don't know,
they have
just to
things
tell me what
describing
to
them.
do.
They describe them in the Nintendo Directs they did for ARMS, but not in the demo itself.
Like we watched that
3 weeks before the
3
demo.
weeks before the demo, so
yeah,
I'm not gonna remember
like,
what I'm supposed to be
few
doing.
people knew you could punch over the net and hit the ball on your opponent's side during a volleyball game. Because in real life volleyball, you can't go over the net.
Yeah.
But in ARMS volleyball, you can go over the net.
But yeah, so did you figure out exactly what can happen on that target stage? Because I had people grabbing me, I had people hitting me.
You can hit the other players, and the way it works is every target you hit on the way to the other side gives you points. If you then hit the other players, your points get multiplied.
Okay.
So the revolvers are very good because you'll fire through, and each hit of the revolver multiplies your points. So like in the 2v2s where you can't really avoid getting hit, I would just stand there with 2 revolvers and Master Mummy. I would end the round earning like 1,500 points.
Really?
Because I just beat on somebody the whole time.
I did it terrible. Every single match I was in. And I was in like, I don't know, maybe 4 of them.
Oh yeah.
It was atrocious. It was the worst.
Throwing also will multiply it, but only once. If you hit with multiple arms or multiple shots, it multiplies it way more, and it's way more worth it to just throw fists than grabs.
It was awkward because for the first time, I think that's the first stage where like you couldn't kind of move away from yourself.
You're restricted to 3D movement. I mean 2D movement. You can go left and right, and you can jump, but you can't go forward or backward.
I found myself trying to back up repeatedly.
And you and your partner are on the same plane, so you collide sideways into each other a lot and like stop each other.
Yeah, that was, I don't know, not my thing.
No. And then there was the tethered multiplayer modes, which gets a lot of hate on Reddit right now. Which I think if both teams had teammates that were working together, it'd be a ton of fun. With random people, you have no idea how they're gonna play or if they even know how to play. It's not fun because you're tethered. You don't share damage, but if one of you gets thrown, the other one will also get thrown and take like 100 damage from it. So a lot of times it turned into one team knows what it's doing and just keeps chain throwing the other team.
Yeah, especially I noticed it was a lot of the people who had groups, you know what I mean? It was
the split screen players.
Yeah, they were definitely communicating.
The game would favor giving them the tethered matches because it meant both people could play.
Exactly. So that was it was very difficult to work against them whenever you were with someone you had no idea.
Yeah.
But
it also would auto switch which target you were way more in the second weekend, I found.
Yeah.
The first weekend you had the switch and I liked it a lot more cuz I knew who I was punching at. In the second weekend, I would throw a punch with Master Mummy and the game would decide no, you need to hit the other player, and like my punch would get thrown between both of them because I threw it mid switch and I'm like, I didn't want to switch there.
Yeah.
There was no reason to make me switch. But the game is like, no.
It's like it would try to figure out who had the least health, but in doing so, it would just kind of fall through.
I think it also tried to fight you and your friend ganging up on someone, which doesn't make sense to me because it's a multiplayer mode, and if you want to gang up on one of the two opponents, that's a good strategy.
Yeah, like if you wanted this to be a one-on-one, then it should have just been a one-on-one.
Yeah, you could have just taken both players and split them off.
Exactly. So what do you think was, from this demo, of course, it was just a demo, was the main issue or the biggest
Tutorial
problem?
makes you play through in motion controls.
Yes.
First off, so
terrible.
so if you're like us and you wanted to play with the Joy-Cons in the Joy-Con holster, which I have back there, I don't have it with me. You had the first off, because you didn't know this, take the Joy-Cons out of the holster, scrambling to get ready for the demo. Slide on the little shoulder button doohickeys, because you have to hold them like you're holding a fist.
Sort of. It
Sort
didn't
of.
feel like a fist to me.
Well, because when you punch, naturally your hand rotates like this.
Yeah.
But in arms, if you rotate your fist, you curve your shot.
You curve it.
So you miss. But, that's an issue. So then you hop into a game not knowing the actual controls you're using. Even though I think they're very intuitive. They, Dude, just gotta mute this real quick. They give, the two shoulder pads on the two shoulder triggers are left punch, right punch.
Mm-hmm.
L is activate your punch rush. R doesn't really do anything, I don't think.
I don't think so. It might. R.
Yeah, look this R.
I
don't think it... The only thing I don't like about the control scheme is you have to click in the left stick to block.
Yeah.
Which is super weird.
I hate clicking in sticks in general.
I don't
That's like my
mind
worst
it,
nightmare.
and I got used to it, but I'm like, there's buttons that are not being used. And you can't, and this is an issue of all Nintendo games, there's no button remapping. I don't get why in 2017 games still don't have button remapping.
I get it for this demo, at least.
I get it for the demo, but if the full game comes out and Mario Kart doesn't have button remapping. It took until, I believe, the Wii version of Smash Bros. To have button remapping. Outside of, like, different settings you could flick on and off.
Who needs remapping for, like, Mario Kart, though? In all honesty.
Well,
I mean, I get other games,
it's like an accessibility thing. Like, I mean, it doesn't hurt it to have it there.
I guess you're right.
It's like having a colorblind mode. Nobody's hurt by it being there.
Yeah.
Gameplay wise, the only issue I can see is that the slower arms are not useful.
I think they can be useful.
The faster characters will almost never get hit by them.
I don't know, I feel like there's a place for them there somewhere. I don't feel like they're useless.
I'm not saying they are, I'm saying they might be. I'm saying there was definitely a feeling where I didn't equip my character with the super fast arm, so I'm getting run over.
Yeah, there was definitely moments, like we said earlier in one of the streams, we were talking about how, like, as us both playing heavy characters, we would get matched up with, like, a Ninjara, and automatically we would be like, oh,
yeah,
okay.
To beat the Ninjara's dash in the air, he teleports. He's invincible during the teleport, and he can attack immediately after. It's fine for most characters, but for Master Mummy and Mechanica, or Helix, who all have the slowest arms in the demo, you don't have... The way you counter a grab is you have to punch one of the arms coming at you or hit the person. So what would happen is you would attack because somebody has to attack, and the Ninjara won't do it. The Ninjara would immediately teleport to the side you attack from and throw a grab. Your arm is still recovering because it's a very slow arm, meaning their grab is basically free. They get the biggest punish in the game for almost free. And to be fair, Ninjara has, I think, the lowest damaging throw in the game at like 140, 150. It's way less than Master Mummy and Mechanica and Helix, at least.
Oh, yeah.
But it still sets you up in the same exact position. The way I got around it is the bird arm can be thrown from any direction. So even if it's on your left, you can throw it from your right.
Okay.
So I would throw my attack, expecting him to dodge, throw my bird arm, and the bird would hit him immediately after he teleported.
Now,
You couldn't react to it, though. And when it lags, that teleport might as well just give you free hits. The lag in this game is very bad when it lags. It doesn't slow down. It just won't register your hits most of the time.
Yeah, because I remember I threw a few times. I think I don't know who I was up against. I have no idea. I think it was Springman. And we watched my hits just go straight through him. Like 3 times.
Sometimes it would hit him a second later, but the netcode is not great. And the Switch, unless you have the network adapter for the Wii U and the Wii that lets you plug in an Ethernet cable, does not come with a wired connection.
Yeah.
You have to play on Wi-Fi, which means the connections will be spottier to
Yeah,
everybody
definitely.
pretty much. It could be a big issue with this game. That being said, we didn't play a lot of laggy matches over the demo.
Yeah, we only had a couple really, like the one I had.
It's just
when
it does lag, the netcode doesn't compensate well.
Yeah, it's real bad when it happens. Now, going back to the type of arms we were talking about, did you play Min Min? Because I know I didn't at all.
Alex did, so he kind of gave me a rundown. He said she was really weirdly middle of the road arms.
Really?
Like, because she has the Megatons, like Master Mummy and the Dragons, but then she also has, I believe she had Chakrams as her third arm.
Yes.
So she could really do, she was like kind of like a Ryu type character, he said, where like you can do kind of anything.
I know I saw people, like a fatal mistake that they would pick was Double Dragon.
Yeah, do not do Double Dragon.
It was too slow. They were always off aiming. It just didn't seem to work.
The issue with the Dragon arm is it takes a while. It takes a while to send out. Then the dragon has to wait. Then it has to open its mouth, and then the beam happens.
And at that point, even somebody like Mechanica or Master Mummy can dodge it. Really.
You have time to throw out a punch, have it come back, and still dodge by the time the opponent's dragon fires at you most of the time. Even with like the revolver.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very good if you want to set up a trap for somebody though.
Oh,
if you're using like I can see using like the bird arm with a dragon and setting up really good traps with it to catch people, but nobody had that combo in the demo.
Yeah, I feel like it'll be really interesting once we have all of the arms, because I feel like there's going to be, like, a lot of the arms we're talking about now where we think that, like you said, some of them feel kind of useless. I feel like there are very specific instances where people are going to find a way
There will be good combos for them, but there were none in the demo, which is all we have to go off of.
Yeah, I mean, we had such a limited selection that...
Yeah, I think it looked like there was something like 50 arms in the game right now.
Something like that. I remember seeing, like, it was a huge panel of them. So.
Yeah, and you got 3 for each character, and there was some overlap between characters. A lot of characters just got, like, the basic punching glove, but with a different element attached.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing. All heavy characters get armor in this game when they're attacking, which I think is super needed. So for people who don't know, armor means you still take damage, but you don't take any hit stun. So the people hit you, but your attack will still go through. The characters who got it were Mechanica and Master Mummy in this demo. Super needed. Definitely for the arms they gave them.
Yeah, I would definitely say it's very important. It's very helpful, especially because there are so many other faster characters, and you do get
grabs
hit so many times.
Grabs go through it. Some games grabs don't go through armor. Like grabs don't go through armor in Injustice and Tekken, which are 2 new fighting games. Punch rushes. Are fun. The bird one is super easy to loop back into itself, by the way.
Really?
If you do revolver bird punch rush, you can land the second revolver punch in there. It doesn't do the full combo, but it does add on like 50 damage.
I feel like the most accomplished thing I could do when playing that game is like KO someone with my punch rush. I don't know. It's just super satisfying.
I don't know if you saw this, but during the second weekend, I landed a punch rush as Master Mummy using the bird and the revolver, and it broke my opponent's guard. So guard isn't infinite in this game. You can break it.
Oh, okay.
You know how like you can hit a person's arms too many times and they fall to the side?
Yeah.
You can do that to their guard and it'll drop both arms.
Huh, I never encountered that.
I don't know if they added it for the second demo, but
I never saw a lot of people guarding, though, to be fair.
I saw it a lot more in the second demo when people thought you were going to go for a punch rush. Guarding normal punches is a little not needed, unless they're going to knock you down or lead into a grab somehow. A lot of people prefer to dodge and counter.
Yeah.
Normal, but you can't really dodge punch rushes.
Yeah, especially since you are mobile during
Yeah, you activate the state and then you can fire it, so it's not like you hit the button and you immediately fire. You hit the button and then you can mash the triggers or, throw punches if these are motion controls.
Yeah. I think that's about it, really. I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, there wasn't anything else. Oh, selecting colors. I figured that out, by the way.
Did you figure it out for us?
So to select colors in this game, because Nintendo has to be weird, they
had to be all secretive about it.
If you're using normal controller, like Pro Controller mode, you click in the left stick, move it to either left, right, or down, because up is your default color, and then you hit A, and then your color will change.
Are you kidding me?
It won't display what color you're selecting, though. So you just have to try them all. Pick the one you want.
Maybe... You think that's a demo thing?
I hope it's a demo thing. I would much rather just pick my character and then pick a color like in Smash Bros.
Yeah.
I don't know why it has to be a secret to make my Master Mummy wear a red wrestling uniform.
They thought they were so clever.
Like it's even in the hint section of the game. It's like there may be a secret way to select another color.
That's literally what it said. It was like there's a secret way, and I'm like, why is it a secret?
I'm sitting in Tekken making Yoshimitsu wear like an inner tube and have a shower head on his noggin, and in this game I have to like input the Konami code to make my Master Mummy wear red.
Yeah. Well, the more you know.
Yeah. I guess. Overall, I'd recommend getting the game if you have a Switch.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be super fun, super crazy.
I think once Splatoon 2 comes out, that would be a good time to pick up a Switch if you don't already have one.
Yeah.
There will be a critical amount of games. You'll have enough games to be able to play the Switch and not be like, why do I own this? I have nothing to play.
Yeah, especially because there'll be Splatoon 2, there'll be ARMS, there's Zelda.
If you didn't have a Wii U, there's the Mario Kart port, which is super good.
Yes.
And I think they actually improved the netcode for the Mario Kart port.
That's what we were saying before, I think, when we played Mario Kart a while ago. It's
we have some Mario Kart streams. We're probably going to stream it some more soon.
Love Mario Kart.
Mario Kart never gets old.
So, yes.
Yeah.
Fun.
If you have a Switch, pick up ARMS. If you don't have a Switch, maybe consider getting one once Splatoon 2 comes out. I don't think this is a system seller.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think so.
So just a quick comparison. Splatoon came out on the Wii U and was like Nintendo revolutionizing shooting multiplayer games. This is like, I feel, their attempt at fighting games.
Yeah.
I don't think it does it as well as Splatoon did the shooters, though.
No, I just feel like...
I feel like this is fun, but I don't think it's like...
I think it's very hard to reinvent a fighting game. There are so many everywhere. Everyone wants to make their own fighting game.
Especially now.
Yeah, and especially this year. There's so much going on
Especially
this
with
year.
Capcom flubbing on Street Fighter V, the market's very open.
Yeah. So, it's definitely like I started with. It's very Nintendo, though. They know what their brand is, and they're sticking with it, and it's unique.
It looks... we never even comment on how it looks. The Switch was kind of like not liked because it isn't a graphical powerhouse compared to like a computer or even just the PS4 and the Xbox, but this game looks really good.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And it runs at a solid frame rate. The only time we saw drops is because we were lagging. It wasn't the game's fault.
One of the very first things I said when we turned it on and started streaming the very first demo was it looked so much more detailed than I thought it was. I thought it was going to be a lot more, flat, but there's so much dimension in each character. Like they have highlights on their hair, and they move as they move, so...
Oh, yeah, they all have their own... They all animate like you would expect them to. Even the weird characters like, Helix and Master Mummy.
Yeah, Helix is really good. They did a really good job. I was looking around, and some people think Helix is really gross looking. I think he's adorable.
I love the Goopman.
I know.
I just did not like the arms they gave him.
I know. Oh, I wish we could have played the robot dog.
Yeah,
that's one thing I really
The two characters not in the demo were Bite and Bark, the cop bot, and his robot dog sidekick, and Kid Cobra, the I believe the last of the speed characters. I believe Bite and Bark are supposed to be a medium speed character, and Kid Cobra is supposed to be the last fast one.
I'm excited to see how Bite and Bark work.
Yeah, I want to know how if Bark just works on AI or if he's kind of like synced to you in some way.
I feel like they wouldn't just put it on AI. I feel like it has to be synced some way.
Yeah.
Somehow, you have to have control there.
Well, you can jump off him for a springboard effect, so I imagine he has to be kind of controllable in some way.
Yeah.
All right, that's about everything we could talk about from the demo. Game comes out on the 16th of June. You got a Switch, I recommend picking it up.
Yes. Very good.
Alright guys, if you like this video, feel free to subscribe. Our Twitch link will be in the description down below. You can go ahead and follow us there. We try to stream every Friday now.
Afternoonish. After 7, kind of.
Yeah. We'll try to have a stream the day ARMS goes live. I believe it's a Thursday.
That would be fun.
It's a Friday. So
it's a Friday.
It's a Friday, so we might do a longer stream.
Yeah.
Subscribe, like, comment. If you didn't like this video, tell us what needs to be improved. We had somebody comment on one of the live stream videos and we moved the webcam, so we're not gonna just disregard any kind of criticism.
All right.
See you next time.